This is some things that we shot that had some ideas that we could bring in some information to you guys. I want to introduce you guys to a legendary dancer. From my perspective, and from he's one of my peers. Uh, he's been like innovation. If you're talking about like for videos and dancing and stuff like that, it changed. We had some dancers before that were with the rappers, but then when we seen Prance Lo with Special Ed, that's his name, Prance Lo. We're gonna welcome him here. He changed the whole game. So not only is he a brand ambassador, but he really changed the vocabulary for dance for us. And yeah, I just like to welcome him aboard for this interview, Prance Lo from Brooklyn.
How you doing, everybody? Peace and blessings. Glad to be here. It's an honor.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get into it. There's a You have the legendary porch.
Hmm.
If for those who don't know, this is from Wrecking Shop. This is the documentary. It's the hip hop documentary. It's kind of like the Bible right now for dancers. If you're getting into hip hop and house and stuff like that, this is like you have to watch this. This is just the quintessential thing that you need to actually step your game up and know the history of the dance, where it's coming from. But you have a very legendary porch, Prance. The culture knows the porch is legendary. And for those who don't know, can you tell us about that space and how it became? This is the place we're going to go to do this kind of documentary.
Okay. Well, a director named Diane Martell used to hang out with us in the clubs back in the days, the New York City clubs, and she had an idea to document us on this, like New York City kids, just their ins and outs of daily life, being where they hang out at, the type of how their friendship is and their bonds outside of the circle of dancing and being in the clubs. So shout out Diane Martell. She went on to direct the Mariah Carey videos and a whole bunch of videos. She has a lot of awards with her her camera work and directing. But she asked me, or asked us, myself, Marquess, and Rubber Band and Keto, where would be a best location for her to come to. We was like, nah, you gotta come to Brooklyn, you gotta come to Flatbush. Nah, come by Prance house. So I had to ask my mom's, cause we live in Flatbush, Brooklyn, if she could let me, use the porch and make that our basis and our venue to shoot that historic part of the dance documentary for us.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Did you ever imagine that it would become such a like a worldwide symbol and like a this documentary being like the Bible for the dancers that are coming up? Because it really
Nah,
is a Bible. I mean, this is
it's amazing to hear it up to today, called like the hip hop dance Bible, and those certain individuals that gave their time for this documentary, for it to go so far in so much different foreign countries. Bless you. I see you sneezed. In in these times, you know what I mean? Because we was just young kids, just doing what we did and loved, and not even our parents understood what we was doing at this time, so for people to embrace it up to these times, and a lot of us has traveled, taught workshops, judged dance battles in these other foreign countries, and like organizers open up their countries to us and let us show our love and our passion for the same thing y'all have, because dance is a universal language. So
Definitely,
for
definitely.
that embrace is just good for the rest of the world to think, because we never fathomed it would get so far and be so respected, and so much questions um have to be answered after we did all our actions. You know what I'm saying? Every action is a reaction, and then now you seeing all these generations after, and dancing, they still have these certain questions, which elevates the process of dance. You know?
And definitely, definitely. Legendary Port. So if you guys have not checked out Wreck and Shop, you have to go check it out. It's for those who haven't tuned in. And then you'll see why it's such a fresh, still to this day, it's such a fresh take on hip hop and approach to the dance, and as well as house, because it was a lot of different elements and a lot of different dancers that were there, and a lot of them that we know as well. I want to
Yeah,
move on
because
to
it was
something too.
that's another thing. That's a lot of people
Yeah.
forget that that's a two-parter. It's a hip hop side of the
Hmm.
documentary and a house side of the documentary, which Diane was
Yeah.
very creative in doing that. Because we come from both parts of that. Without the house is not a lot of that hip hop, freestyle hip hop that we do so much in those music videos and stuff like that, because we was just coming out of the element of the house clubs and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, man. Um, I want to ask you about fashion now in hip hop, because you are a brand ambassador. You do represent well, a group of gentlemen in Brooklyn, or community in Brooklyn, that is also expanded throughout the world right now, which is called the Low Lifes.
Mm.
A lot of people are curious about that too. What's that about? Because they'll see, like, I'm wearing polo. They'll see maybe Yukesun. They'll start to see a little bit of some things going on, and then they're also catching what happened in Record Shop, where they might have missed the talking part and concentrated on dancing. But those who went back, it was like, okay, well, what's he talking about? What's up to the polo, and what did that mean to you at that particular time for the fashion wise, and we'll dive a little bit deeper too.
No problem, no problem. Well, shout out the Almighty Low Lives, which I'm the brand ambassador of. We are a crew from the early '80s that loved a lot of clothing brands, but really synonymous for the Ralph Lauren polo. Well, me as a dancer, I use the Ralph Lauren polo as like my uniform to dance in, you know? So that kind of separated me in the documentary from a lot of other of the dancers. So it wasn't just my dance style, but even my style of clothing that I represented. So within the Record Shop documentary, myself and my other brother from Flatbush named Keto and Rubber Band and Marquess, we all represented Ralph Lauren Polo. So that's the thing with that documentary. We didn't just use the porch at my mom's house, but we used the whole block. So I went to the corner of Albany and Church Avenue in Flatbush, Brooklyn, and we did it's called the Low Show. So I'm out there like a model showing all my Ralph Lauren clothing, like, yo, you want to be like us? Yo, you want to make money? You want to dance? Cause back then, like the polo, and it was synonymous with like violence or thievery. You had to protect the polo and the Ralph Lauren you had because it cost so much money. So at this time, I was saying, you don't have to steal or you don't have to rob. Nah, come like me and make big money and dance like my crew, and you could wear polo like us. So when Diane put that in the documentary, it kind of separated me not just as a dancer, but like, yo, I want to wear polo like Prance too. You know what I mean? And my energy with it, it was like it just it went viral before viral was even a word or social media was even out here. You know, so that that record shop dance documentary really put us on the map and put our names like, yo, who's Prince? Yo, and want to know our bio and our background and how he got polo. Why the rest of them don't wear polo? And then those questions they started digging in more, and then finding out who the individual was, and then finding out where my area was in Flatbush and how it was West Indian based, and my parents from Trinidad and Tobago, and and I got like a Caribbean background, and I'm just not like a regular, just an American within hip hop. I got like West Indian bass and back culture, which I represent fully. And like whether anybody from around the world come around my house, when I introduce them around the way, I meet them at the train station and we walk down Church Ave and we get certain foods that you could only get around the way, like jerk chicken, some roti, some rice and peas, some curry chicken, and we go on my mom's porch and we eat. And then my mom's is still living. She's 80 years old. So she is proud. I'm proud to bring people from around the world and eat on my porch and get busy. You know what I'm saying? For a little while and talk some history and um even talk about polo. Some people is like polo enthusiasts still. Like Born, he'll be in the town and then want to go shopping at some of the spots I know about, and then we go over to some of the polo spots and get some of the either the vintage or some of the new stuff. But the thing about polo, out of all clothing lines, is that it's like collecting stamps or collecting baseball cards or something that you buy it for a price and it'll appreciate and not depreciate. Like say you buy a Bentley or a Benz, when you drive out the car lot, it's gonna depreciate as soon as you come back and be like, yo, I want my money back for it. With the thing with Polo now, if you check on eBay and certain selling lines, even the oldest stuff be more than even some of the new stuff with new tags on it. You know what I mean? So I hold my low life crew proud next to my dancing skills and within my journey of what I do around the world. You know what I'm saying? And with the
Hmm.
documentary, it's kind of like a cult following. You know what I mean? Who's
Yeah.
into like polo and stuff like that? They kind of rock with Prance and rock with like what I do and what I wear, and that's who really follows me on my Instagram and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's like a full plate of food with me. You know what I mean? So you get the dance, you get the fashion, and you get some American, you get some West Indian, you might get some Trinity, you might get some Jamaican, because around my way is like a melting pot. So the Haitians, everybody live around my way. So, you know,
Yeah.
I just
Was
I
it
just
is that was it true? Is that you who had some of your clothes curated for the TV series something to do?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
you
yes.
had something to
Record
do with
shop. I
Netflix
mean,
too,
not
right?
record shop. Raising
Not
Canaan.
Record Shop, but Raising
Raising
Canaan
Canaan.
on Netflix. Oh well, I think it's
Well,
Prime or
well,
one of those
it's really on Stars
streaming
Network.
services. Stars
Stars.
Network. Okay.
And Lionsgate Film does it with Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent. It's so one of the characters on their name is Jukebox, and she's a young booster that runs with the basically the
Oh, you
low
have to explain
lives.
booster, what booster means, because no
Well,
everyone's not going to
booster,
understand what a booster.
right? Booster is a thief of clothing. like a kleptomaniac. Like you walk in the store and you walk in the Ralph Lauren area, you gotta leave with something. That's a booster. You know what I mean? It's a skill.
Unpaid for.
It's a skill of a craft. Like, yeah, you walk in with your knapsack after school, and then next thing you know, oh, nah, I want this. Put it up your back, ah, like that. And then you know, yo, people used to. It wasn't even clothes. You go to the grocery store, you get meat, you get ice cream, you go get 40s, beers. Back in the days, that was what a booster was. So it was a thief
Yeah.
of clothing. And you had to have a special skill so the undercover police or whoever would not see you boosting these clothes.
Yeah, and so you said that the Raising Kanan, you had one particular character that you
Yeah,
actually
one
helped curate
particular
some of the clothing
character
for.
named Jukebox, which is 50 Cent in the show. His name is Kanan, but they're showing not as adults when they was kids. So now they're in the 80s, but she's a booster, so she needs clothes for the late 80s. She needs polo clothes. So they had me do a presentation of what late 80s polo clothes that I had, and I brought the presentation to them. And I was under contract since 2020, and I think yeah, last year, 2024, was my last time being under contract with it. So I was doing it for 4 years, and it was a great experience because, like I said, collecting all these clothes, and it's like collecting baseball cards and stuff like that. But you accumulate a lot. So at this time, my wife is asking me like, "Yo, where are you wearing all these clothes? What you doing with it?" And then God had the answer for me that I got to be able to and the opportunity to put it on TV and Raising Canaan. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So that was
definitely
just an
dope.
honor for
Yeah.
me and an honor for the low lives to be seen in that kind of setting because like I said, with boosting and the thievery, it's basically like a rags to riches story with us. Cause we was seen as the bad guys, but now we be recognized with Ralph Lauren in his documentaries that he has on HBO, and we was documented in Complex magazine. They had a documentary called Horsepower, and myself, my other brothers, Thurston Howell III and Rack Low, we was featured in there, plus other collectors like Just Blaze and Buck Wild, which is producers of hip hop. They all are great collectors of Ralph Lauren. So it's just good to be put in that circle of great collectors. You know, just like being put with Buddha Stretch and Khalif and Rubber Band and Marquess in that group of dancers is the same great group of guys that I am with collectors of polo. So you just
Cool.
want to be at the right place at the right time with the right people doing the right things, and then positive things going to happen for you. You know, like Bourne said, I've been doing this like 30 years, like out of high school. Like I, I had to have the decision, the fork in the road. Like, am I going to college to go get more schooling, or am I going to deal with my dream and passion of being a dancer and being in hip hop? And my mom's gave me the choice, and the choice really proved itself. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
consistency is key with it, with whatever
Yeah,
you
and that's the
doing in
thing.
life. Right.
Yeah. hmm And that's the thing with a lot of with dancing. You guys got to understand. When we were teenagers too, as well. We had, and I'm quite sure you guys are going through the same thing. Maybe with your parents or people who you're a little bit older. You are looking at you like, well, what are you guys doing? What are you
Mhm.
doing? You dancing? Yeah, that's great and all that, but what's it going to get you?
Like,
I
what's the
mean,
long? They
what you
your
yeah,
elders always want to see
what do
a
you get out
long
of this?
term, right?
Yeah, and sometimes you got to stick with the guns. You have to really be like, you have to know your path of what you want to do, and you kind of got to know your end game too. Or sometimes you don't know your end game, but you just stick to something that you love. I mean, this is the one of the best things that you could do. Hold on to things that you love. If it's to dance, don't stop doing it. It doesn't matter what age. It just doesn't matter. Just keep pursuing it because you never know what you get out of it. And if you're looking for only money, yeah, you're not probably may not get a lot of money dancing, but if you're looking for stability or you got to hone in your craft and hone in what you're doing to make that happen. I want to follow up by saying, not only polo that you rock, you stay fresh to death, and how do you stay true to the roots, man, of hip hop? Because I don't think it's just polo that you're just wearing too as well. You're also kind of like you're still pushing the envelope for hip hop and fashion too as well with other brands, correct?
Yeah, well, shout out, Willie Esco. He gave us our low life brand. So we also had our own clothing line also through Willie Esco. And we had our own low life sneaker, which was one was a Etonic that sold out worldwide, and then one was a Jaclure, which was another sneaker company out there in Europe that we sold good, and I, right now as a brand ambassador and people see what I did with the Ralph Lauren, like I have a lot of other manufacturer or clothing companies that's friends of mine now that their level of quality because of us chasing that quality over quantity with Ralph Lauren, we know what like a consumer would love to have on their self or in their closet. And I promote a lot of my friends' clothing brands around the world, whether it's
Yeah.
glasses or hats, shout out overlooking the Hudson. He's a great hat designer. I got my other brother, Timeless Products. He does eyeglass wear, and I have my own brand also. I got my Prance Lo brand. I just came back from China a couple of weeks ago, and I just sold. Well, I'm selling Ziggy memorabilia stuff. So. Um, that's like 1992 stadium Ralph Lauren inspired clothing because my group Jiggy in 1992 we had a video called Toss It Up, and on that video we wore the 1992 stadium collection of Ralph Lauren, which is the highest paid collection of any Ralph Lauren. And I'm
Yeah, you
talking
guys
about
gotta this. Yeah, pardon. This is something you guys gotta write down. The Ziggy video. This is also a hip hop legendary video right here. I mean, the dance was impeccable and everything was right on point. Um, it's there was an interview with KRS One from Fashion Video, like a video stock archives, and he was talking
Mhm.
about the fashion too as well for hip hop.
Mhm.
I don't know if Karis One was the number one guy to look at for fashion because he usually kept it plain. He was known for the lyrics, killing the lyrics and stuff like
Okay.
that for the battle. But especially considering how deep fashion ran in hip hop era, um, what do we have the Dapper Dans and stuff like that. Why is it so important? Fashion and hip hop. What's the importance of it? Also, be mindful, guys. The fashion that he's talking about, the clothes were nice and baggy. And if you know baggy clothes, you know how good it is to dance in nice baggy jeans and baggy shirts and stuff like that, how it good makes you flow and feel and you're a little bit comfortable. But talk a little bit about the history of the fashion in hip hop. Because KRS One gave us something, but he wasn't really the one. It was like Slick Rick, something like that. We followed in fashion and a
Nah,
couple
you
of
gotta.
other
Yeah,
names.
well, I'm a keep it dancing related, like Scoob and Scrap,
Yeah.
Big Daddy Kane dances. Like they used to wear like Dapper Dan outfits, even and those used to represent polo also. those Dapper Dan outfits. I don't know if you know Dapper Dan. He's a designer that used to take like Gucci fabric or Louis Vuitton fabric and or MCM and then put the fabric on like velour sweatsuits from scratch. He used to cut and sew and stuff like that and make stuff for famous rappers, LL Cool J, Mike Tyson, stuff like that. Even KRS One had a
Yeah, he
Dapper
had the
Dan,
BDP outfit.
the
Yeah.
BDP outfit. Right,
Hmm.
correct. So like fashion always makes you feel good about yourself. Good clothes, clean clothes. When that's like your parents when you used to go like to church or whatever, like, yo, don't mess up your Sunday clothes, your good clothes. They used to say your good clothes because you you always wanted to keep on your good stuff, like want everybody to see it. As a dancer now, the same way you want them to see your dance and moves is the same way you want to have the right outfit and performing and expressing yourself because you expressing yourself through
Hmm.
the clothing and through the moves at the same time. And a lot of judges and competitions watches all of that and how enjoyable you feel in your dancing and everything. Like it's all a package.
So you do feel fashion is just as influential as beats and bars and in the hip hop rise.
Of course, definitely. And how we love baggy clothes is because of the fluidry of it. You know what I mean? It's like you get an extra wave when you know, with your clothes when it's blousy. If it's too tight, you know you gonna feel constricted kind of.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yo, let's go on to some more. I got another question for you. We're
Uh-huh.
gonna go to something a little bit different now. Community and music videos. Back in the day, the dream for us would to be in a music video, like Mariah Carey or something like that.
Mhm.
That was the move back then. That was like that was your viral moment. If you could get somewhere on television, that would be your viral moment for a dancer. Can the community today, what can the community today do to get more involved in hip hop in that way that we used to get involved in? You know, we used to go out and look for auditions to be on the video. And it seems like nowadays, since they have the battles and everything, and you know, you can do your own video, that a lot of dancers, like, you know, they'll see the opportunity maybe to be in someone's video and they're like, oh no, I'm good, I'll just turn it down. Why is it so important to try to keep that connection between the music, you know, the artists, the different artists, like the hip hop, the rapper and stuff like that?
Feel like even from the beginning, that was the whole blueprint of it. A DJ, a rapper, and two dancers. You know, that's the blueprint of hip hop or artistry. And a dancer should still be in there in that line of fire because of elevation and growth purposes, because you might not want to just be a dancer, but you might find a love of being a DJ because you love the music, or you might want to be in the forefront and now you find in your artistry and now you starting to write and stuff, but you gotta be around an artist to see their ups and downs of what and want to see if you want to be involved in that. You know what I'm saying? As a artist or as a DJ or as somebody manager. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not in the mix at all, then you would not you can't just be like, yo, I just want to be a manager. You have to learn and observe being within that society. So it's all communal. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I think with videos now, like dancers give good ideas to directors to make their videos better. You know, the thing about videos now, and because of TikTok and more video exposure from social media, like you really don't need to. You could do your own music videos. You know what I'm saying? And still promote the artists that you wanna thing, because you might see their video and their dancers do a routine. Now you might get your crew together, and now you might do a routine that's even better than the video that they did. Now Chris Brown or whoever it is might, the artist might see you and be like, you know what? I want to give them an opportunity in my next video to think. But you got to put yourself within visibility, you know?
Yeah, definitely. One thing, dancers need to make themselves available for these different projects that happen.
Yeah, but they
Don't
gotta,
shy away from
and
projects. Yeah.
the artist got to make it beneficial too. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
To entice them
Yeah,
to
definitely.
wanna come. You know what I'm saying? You can't lowball the dancer that's doing a lot in the video. You know what I'm saying?
Was that a situation back then where it was because you know how hip hop grew? You know the rappers were on. First it was the
Mm-hmm.
DJs. It seemed like of course, graffiti and that came along with the package in a
Mm-hmm.
way. But you had your MCs on the rise, and then from the MCs went the videos, and then you had your dancers and MCs, and then at one particular point we just seen just the MCs, and then the dancers on the way kind of like disappeared. So what were some of the struggles? And for me and for the culture, it would make sense to keep the dance around, but for some reason it kind of like separated in a way. And dancers now today, what we're talking about now is okay, yeah, I can make a video now. So I really don't need to go stand in line or ask someone to be in their video. I can make my own video of the music that I want to make. You know, it,
Mm-hmm.
can you give us a little bit of the struggles of the time for a dancer so they understand maybe today, maybe it's the same struggles they can relate?
Well, the struggle of a dancer back then was basically like underpaid, and you tried to lowball a dancer and make him look like he was just an extra in the video when they was really bringing the energy of the music and the video and making the video. It was really the director of showing these dancers is really making the artists illuminate and shine like they got a real hit, you know? So I don't really don't know the difficulties of today's time with the dancers, because a lot of my peers, um I see them in Red Bull and doing commercials for like G-Shock and stuff like that, and Reebok, and they get they just do. But then I ask them like, why couldn't they put their crew in, because it would have made it even more popping, and then they say it wasn't within the budget. The same thing we used to hear back in the days. It's not in the budget to have the dancers. Or sometimes the artists want to keep most of the budget and lowball the dancers. So when the dancers find out how much the artist is really getting, then that puts a bad taste in their mouth and with business, and they rather just dance for themselves than be in this conglomerate and this machine that's just using their God-given talent and not getting the just due and the payment that they really deserve.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. I got one last question for you, and then we can probably get into some uh, follow-up questions if
Mhm.
anybody has any. how are you looking at, from your point of view, from right now? We've seen a lot of change where we see the battles have taken precedent for the dancers, which is a good thing. It's just an element that we can, that we can be a part of. What's your take on it, on the battles that are happening?
I'm digging the battles. I'm digging the community coming together, cause the dance world seems major and it seems like it's all over the world, but it's really a small group of individuals that really come together that has this god-given talent that supposed to know each other, whether they OGs or up and comings. We all supposed to know each other, or like 6 degrees of separation. You know what I'm saying? Like if you know Born should be able to put you on to Prance and put you on to something that you might not know, and or have questions about that somebody else of our era could simplify for you. And if we have questions, we need to be able to ask somebody like what's going on. So I just love that when I go to the battles, how I'm meeting old friends from like Japan or whatever. Like we come into a country to judge together, and I ain't seen them for years. That's a good feeling for me. You know what I mean? That we still alive and kicking and doing what we do and love from since we was young. And then when I'm around with the kids, I'm just amazed and just enthused that how young and how supportive their families is for them in the battles, and how these young kids is battling grown um um kids
Adults,
with
yeah.
with 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 the same heart, like it's nothing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
so not, no intimidation. So I be impressed like that. Like a girl and a boy. You know what I mean? Like that kind of battle. Like everybody like, nah, it's the skill that's gonna show. And these judges gonna see me eat you. Just, you know what I mean? They know who both of us are, but at this time, they're gonna see, you know what I mean, what it is. And then when that DJ know the kind of music to play in the battle, it's like a good um pot of soup. You know, everything food related with me. I'll be hungry sometimes. So so yeah. So you putting in all the right ingredients, the lighting, like when I love to see um judge showcases and stuff like that, and all of that. I just love to see showmanship and performance and athleticism
yeah,
to this
yeah,
music that we all love, whether it's old, some beats I ain't never hear before, and I just be like, oh nah. Ooh, if I was in my days, oh, I'd have killed this right here. Like, you know what I mean? So it just makes me feel good to see everybody of all different age groups just loving hip hop or house
yeah,
music
definitely.
or Afro beats or reggae or whatever else you want to move to. I'm just glad that people just moving, cause you need to be healthy and strong, and have a love and a passion for something to be able to move so gracefully, cause a lot of people want to be like that. You know what I mean? And with what we do is what the people love to see us do. They pay money to just watch us. They just observe us like, nah, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna practice, and we give people enthusiasm to do more.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, one more question before we Cipher, we're on the Cipher Dojo platform, and
Mhm.
the inside the the logo itself, Cipher, the importance of a cipher. The importance of a cipher. Your take.
So the importance of a cipher, which is coming together. A cipher, whether you rapping or whether DJs cutting together and they do the merry-go-round where DJs do a cut and catch the beat. The cipher is always together. It's always unity. It's needed. It's a family. It's it's togetherness. You know what I'm saying? So I always love to see um just off of whatever the beat is, like people just coming together and showing their true their true feeling at that time. You know what I mean? And everybody enjoying it. You know, that cipher, that 360 is for a reason. Why we in a circle. Sometimes the circle gets so tight because you want to be in the circle. That's how close you be. That's why you yo, open it up, yo, give it some breathing room, let it breathe. You know, a cipher is a family gathering. It's like a huddle of great creatives. That's what I feel a cipher is for everyone. You know, everybody having that good feel and good and good attitude. I'm all about goodness and
Definitely.
positivity. You can't just even when you crunking, you feel good when you doing that, even though it's an aggressive kind of movement, but you know, it's all feel good vibes that everybody should be given and trying to portray to the camera or to the people that you trying to express your moves to. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes in a cipher, it 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 brings somebody that ain't even come to dance. Like you just be in front of them. It's like a social thing. It brings everybody together, man. For real.
Yeah.
So I'm just imagining, just seeing like the last part of Wreck and Shop. That cipher in there is a great closure to how that documentary all came together. Cause you could feel the
Yeah.
heat in that club. You could feel like and that bird's eye view of watching everybody get busy. It's like that's everybody's moment in time. You know what I'm saying? And we all had that
Yeah.
moment in time and we all know how that feels. That's why we do what we do.
All right. Definitely. Yo, we're gonna wrap this up, but I want to make sure we get some questions answered from the people out there if this is possible. Maybe we could try to do this in an orderly fashion. If you have a question, go ahead and shoot now. Let's see if we can kind of like streamline it a little bit. But if someone has a question to ask, feel free to ask now.
I have a question.
Unmute. Go ahead.
Am I good?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good. Go ahead.
So, what would be something that you think younger dancers won't understand from like back in the days? Something we will never get to experience, or yeah,
Um
we won't
the
be able to.
so the social dance part of it, like going to parties and seeing like just social dancing. A lot of people like I've seen them want to be competitive dancers more than just enjoy another person. You know what I mean? Like what we was just talking about, that cipher.
And why do you think that
Yeah.
changed? Like, what is it that now?
I ain't mean to cut you off again, but now thinking like they're looking for the battle moves, the strong moves,
Yeah,
that thing that eye shocker move that could impress a judge more than just having fun with it, you know?
yeah, definitely. Do you think that also comes because we have battles now more as the, how do you say that? The general thing that you work towards to, I feel sometimes. Do you feel it's because of that? Like,
You want that award and the check? You want to hold it with the smile, with the trophy?
no,
Most
yeah, but do you think that because battles now became more like, the thing you work towards as a dancer, maybe sometimes it's like so focused around battles. Like, why did the parties change? You get what I mean?
uh, well, I would think because of Red Bull and certain platforms where the battle is you see the exposure you get from the winnings. Maybe that is some people like gratification, but some people other gratification is just getting their routines tighter. Where that's not no battle, you know what I mean? That's more of a togetherness. You more of a team player than a individual, you know, because in the battle you just dolo with yours, or you got the 2 man or the 4 man, and
Yeah.
that even starts arguments if you ain't feeling like you got a loose link within your chain or your battle, because you know who you going up against. Now you clashing. See, a lot of battle things you could get into arguments and stuff like that. Like, yo, how much times I gotta show you? Yo, it's on the 16, it's on the drop, it's on, more than just enjoying your dance.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just need to be in the cipher for a couple of years before you even somebody that's in the battle world should be able to move you up. Like, yo, I've been watching you, I think you ready. A lot of people think they just ready for the battle when you just ready to just be a good dancer.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't always about the trophy. It's about the trophy in your soul, with what you doing. And the rest of the peers seeing you. Like when you post something and another dancer from another side of the world like what you doing, you be impressed with that. That's better than winning a battle, because somebody that you looked up to is saluting you like, oh wow, nah. That makes you push even more than you just won a battle and now you got to look for the next battle to win. You keep
Hmm.
that other gratification that one of your OGs or your peers or your teacher reposted you. Somebody that you feel highly of is better than your trophy wall. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's how I feel.
Okay, let's go to the next question. Thank
Mhm.
you, Dorit. Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
when you ask the question, just mute your mic afterwards so we don't get triple feedback. So, next question. If anybody got another question, let's go.
Yes, I also had a question. About the ciphers back in the day. Were there any like ciphers where there were too many people, or like also how you guys were hyping yourselves up? Because a lot of times nowadays, like in my city, we have ciphers where the people are like viewing the other people and just standing and like maybe shouting sometimes like whoop whoop, but then they be still. Like, how was it back then for you? And did you handle
So you,
some stuff?
more we had a lot of spectators too, because a lot of our ciphers was in the New York City clubs. So we would just be going around, and it'll be like a couple of circles, but it'd just be one main circle that a lot of the main dancers of that time is gonna be in. And then when that DJ see that cipher getting built, he gonna play the right music. So you always gotta open up your circle, because the spectators always gonna come and thing. Now you got the cameras and not just the spectators looking. Now you got certain friends as dancers got certain cameramen as their friends, and now they want to put their tripod up and set it up for that. You know what I'm saying? For that cipher and stuff like that. So it's a lot of viral moments going on. Back in the days now, it wasn't a lot of cameras. You had to be at the right place at the right time to see the right people shine. You know what I'm saying? So now you'd be like, if you went to Red Zone, which was a club back a hip hop club back in the days, or the building. Um, Now you you know where you want to stand and position yourself, because you know it's about to start, like about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. You know that cipher is about to start, and the right DJ is about to play the right hits for you to get busy. And most of the time when they playing these hits, we as the dancers are the ones within these videos that they're playing the hits for. So they know what they're gonna see. It say like stretching them, they know they're gonna put um Michael Jackson on. Remember the time. Now everybody now is doing the routine. You know what I'm saying? Then they put Toss It Up on for Jiggy. Now everybody in the club like this doing the thing. So it's a party atmosphere. You know what I mean? The cipher turns into the party. They start playing the Bismarck. Everybody start Bismarcking. Start playing the WAP. You start whopping. You know? I love when the whole party get involved. Like everybody's a dancer. You know what I mean? Let's get to it. You know? Like everybody got to get sweaty. We just can't all stand around and spectate. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's
it, it's the crazy energy shift, like in being a party. Yeah, and maybe that's what you were also telling like before. It's
mhm.
missing about the socializing.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Because I like now. Say you want to dance with a girl dancing, she doing a smoothness, but now she knows you a dancer. Now she's intimidated, like, yo, don't come and battle me. Like, you gotta have the smooth dancer go and be easy with her and make her feel comfortable to dance with you. Even though she know you a high level dancer, you know, you gotta make it comfortable for everybody. Don't intimidate people with your dance skills. You know what I'm saying? What you do in the cipher, you can't do just in the party. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, definitely,
that's how I
definitely.
feel. All right.
All right, we got another question. We got at least 5 more minutes because we want to top this off at the hour, or we got at least enough room for one or two questions. If you got a short one, is even better. Any other questions? That's it.
All good. Hey,
Okay,
Wallo.
okay.
I have a question.
Go
Also,
ahead.
also about the ciphers, because you were talking like it was like a whole party. Because right now I feel like you need to have a certain skill set to enter a cipher. So
Mm.
question is, how was it back in the days? Was it like you didn't have to be a dancer to enter a cipher, or was it also like this today?
Nah, it was like that back then too. But back then, you would feel you you wasn't of a level to enter the cipher. You know what I mean? Like, not saying that we would push you away or like, nah, go over there, bro. You for that circle over there. But just you would feel the energy. You would feel like it's different crews back then. It's like mop tops, then mop top dancers, then you got jiggy dancers, then you got guess who dancers, but we all got like the main circle, the main cipher going on in the night of the club. But then you got other little ciphers going on elsewhere, you know what I'm saying? Not downgrading their cipher, but just to tell you at the end of the night, who was the bigger figures, and that's why like Diane would come to us and be like, yo, I want to do a documentary with you gentlemen and not all the dancers in New York, you know? And at that time, it's different hierarchies too. Like Buddha Stretch already dancing with Houdini and certain people. Like he would be, Diane would go to him and be like, "Yo, I want Prance Marquess, Rubber Band, and this one and that one to be in this documentary with you." At this time, he's like the big kahuna. He could be like, Prance? Nah, nah, nah. We ain't dealing with Prance. And you know what I mean? And who should be in there and who shouldn't be in there. You know what I mean? So that's why I feel honored to be within this Wrecking Shop documentary. Because if you really needed to be there, you would have been in there. They would have found you. And you wouldn't have you would have been on there. You would have had enough talk time. You could have been left on the editing floor. It's a lot of situations that could have happened. That's why I'm blessed to be involved with that and get my just due of now and still be invited to talk around the world and talk to you guys about that special feeling I had when I was young, because it still brings chills to my bones that I'm still be able to talk that talk at work. So,
Yeah.
it's the best of both worlds. Like, I get to provide for my family with a job, but I still get to do my passion that I had from young, you know? So I'm just glad that God blessed me with the health, strength, and sanity to do that.
Okay. Well, we're gonna get ready to wrap this up. Prance, let them know where they can reach you at. Let's give you all your shout outs to and where can people contact you at? Because I know there's more questions, and I know people are gonna, oh yeah, I forgot this question, and they're probably gonna want to hit you up and you say, yo, what about this and what about that? So what can they reach you at?
Yeah, that's not a problem. I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Prance Lo Brand. Prance Lo Brand. You can find me there, and yeah, just DM me, and I'm there for any questions, anything, bro. FaceTime, audio, it's nothing, bro. I'm just glad that I got to answer some questions, see some faces, and it's a blessing, for real.
Yeah,
I
any
can't
last
wait.
words for the generation watching this, and whether fashion, dance, or just living the culture? Anything you can give to anyone right now?
Yo, just say less, do more within your dancing and for your culture and for your family. You know, a lot of people do this, but they don't, action speaks louder than words. And that's what we do as dancers. We action, you know? So I appreciate everybody. I hope to see y'all. You know what I mean? I hope to be able to do a workshop with y'all, have a cipher with y'all, and just, interact as we should as human beings. I appreciate y'all time and happy Sunday.
Yes, thank you very much. Great interview. Thank you, Prance, for blessing us. Cipher Dojo. Thank you guys for tuning in too, and great questions, guys. And yeah, let's keep the energy and let's keep it going. Peace.
Definitely. Thanks, Patella.